Hey folks, it's Carl. I hope you've been doing well. I've been out of commission and I haven't been posting anything on YouTube for quite a few months now. And the first reason why is that I have been going through a bunch of surgeries. I had skin cancer. They found a number of nodes here on my nose and here on the side of my face, and I've been dealing with that. But between healing, I went to Europe. And I spent a lot of time in Paris, France, in Bonn, Germany, where Beethoven was born and raised, in Amsterdam and Portugal. And the third reason for my, let's call it sluggish uploading, is because my business has also doubled. But I've hired a few assistants, so I've taken care of that problem. And here's the new video. About 3 years ago, I was in Kyoto, Japan, with a group that I was leading, a tour group, and a beautiful woman with the white painted face and the ruby lips, she walks past, and everyone says, Carl, look, it's a geisha. And I looked real quick and I said, nope, it's not a geisha, it's a Maiko, a geisha in training. And then about an hour later, we're walking through the streets of Gion, and sure enough, we see another one, and they're walking past, and someone says, Carl, look, a geisha. And I looked again, and I said, nope, it's not a geisha, it's a Maiko, a geisha in training. And everyone was looking at each other as if to say, how does he know that? And then we had dinner, and after dinner, we're walking back to our hotel, and a beautiful, similar woman walks past. And I said, folks, that is a geisha. How did I know? Well, this video is all about the geisha, understanding the difference between a geisha and a Maiko, and what to look for and what to understand. This video is Geisha 101.
Everyone knows of the geisha. You've seen this in one way or another 1,000,000 times. The beautiful painted faces and ruby red lips, the unmistakable kimonos and perfect hair. Well, this is a geisha. But this is a Maiko. Look similar? Well, let's talk about the geisha for a bit. The geisha, also known as geiko, are a class of female Japanese performance artists and entertainers trained in traditional Japanese performing art styles, such as dance, playing musical instruments, professional hosts, as well as being proficient in conversation. Geisha are also hired for top-tier, prestigious public performances. Geisha are one of the most captivating symbols of Japan, kind of like Mount Fuji or the samurai. If you see these images, you think Japan. Their iconic appearance is unmistakable thanks to the elaborate makeup and hairstyle, kimono, and more. Yet much of the geisha's lifestyle and responsibilities remain shrouded in mystery, and many misconceptions about their profession spoil their image. First of all, crushing the big myth, geisha are not Japanese prostitutes, never have been. As I mentioned earlier, they're female Japanese performance artists, traditionally hired to entertain guests at tea houses and social events. During events, they play games, converse, and perform. A big reason for the prostitution misconception stems from the term geisha girls. In the aftermath of the Second World War, many prostitutes dressed in kimonos and advertised themselves as geisha girls to the occupying forces. As a result, the word geisha became synonymous with prostitution in Japan. And soon enough, there was confusion between the term geisha and geisha girls, and the confusion became a giant misunderstanding over the years. Geisha are not sex workers. Secondly, different names for the same thing. In the city of Kyoto, Japan, which is right here, geisha are often called geiko, which shares the same ge as geisha, while the second character is replaced with ko, meaning young person. Now, in the city of Niigata, Japan, which is way over here, they are often called geigi, with gi meaning artistic woman. Similar, yet different words for the exact same thing. Third, dwindling numbers. Though the number of geisha in Japan has steadily declined since the golden age of the Edo period in the 1600s, it's estimated that there are still around 500 to 600 geisha working in Japan today. In 2008, 2011, and 2018, I actually attended functions where the geisha sang and danced and chatted with us. Now, it was expensive. You see, it's not just one flat fee for the performance. It's charged by the number of attendees. A small event of 4 or 5 people will easily cost you about $1,500. And if they charge by the person, expect to shuck out about $300 to $400 for each person during the experience. The most famous and commonly known geisha are in Kyoto, where a number of geisha lodging and training houses remain even today. Now, Tokyo boasts about 6 remaining geisha houses in one of the most popular spots named Asakusa, the northeast quadrant of the city. I spend a lot of time in Asakusa. Newbies to Japan usually love it as well. Fourth, getting ready. When it's time for a geisha to dress for an event, it's a severe undertaking. They aren't spending 30 minutes in front of a bathroom mirror. Their face and neck are covered in a traditional white foundation. It's a white powder mixed with water that becomes a paste. Before applying that, a geisha needs to put on a layer of wax first to help smooth her skin before the white paste can even be applied with the wide brush. And then the lipstick, the hair, and kimono are next. And then the ornaments. It's a big deal, and it takes a lot of time. And finally, number 5, geisha versus Maiko. Now, becoming a geisha is the end result of arduous training, practice, and experience, and a woman first must become a Maiko before she becomes a geisha. A Maiko is a geisha in training. And while the untrained eye may find it difficult to differentiate Maiko and geisha, there are several visual clues to instantly tell them apart. The first difference is their makeup. There are specific ways that Maiko and geisha are allowed to apply it to reveal their status. This starts with the lipstick. Junior Maiko, younger apprentices, only apply lipstick to the bottom lip, while senior Maiko will also paint the lower lip, but just about half of the top lip. Check out this photo. You'll notice that half of her top lip is covered with lipstick. That would likely be an advanced Maiko. Now, the actual geisha's lips are fully painted with a dark, full red lipstick. But speaking from my perspective, the lipstick is usually the dead giveaway when figuring out which lady is a Maiko and which is a geisha. The lipstick will give you a really big hint. But also notice that the Maiko's white facial makeup has a definitive border along the facial area. You can clearly see where the white makeup begins and blends in. But a full-fledged geisha has white makeup that covers the entire face, leaving a not-so-obvious border. Another way to tell a Maiko and geisha apart is the hairstyle. Maiko wear a number of traditional hairstyles called nihongami, which are styled from their own natural hair. A Maiko will typically have a few different hairstyles during their apprenticeship, which often indicates their rank or seniority. The most common hairstyle for Maiko is momoware, which features a firm bun on the back of the head. But this hairstyle will gradually change as they get older, more experienced, and move up the ranks. Now, the full-fledged geisha wear elaborate custom wigs. They're made out of real hair, and they're known as a katsura. These are designed in a specific style where the hair is worked up into a top knot at the crown of the head. These wigs are incredibly expensive. Also, both Maiko and Geisha have hairstyles that are adorned with a variety of hairpins and ornaments that hang from the hair. The ornaments worn by the Maiko are usually very elaborate, bright, decorative, large, and often fastened with golden-colored items and flowers. But the ornaments worn by the geisha are also decorative, but much smaller, refined, and understated. In other words, a bona fide, legit geisha doesn't require all the decorations. They are seen as the real thing, and who they are speaks for themselves. It's also possible to tell a Maiko and geisha apart by their kimono and sandals. The kimonos worn by the geisha tend to be designed in a single, muted, fundamental color without complicated multicolored designs. The kimonos worn by the Maiko tend to be usually multicolored with patterns, multiple images or designs, really busy. This isn't a hard and fast rule, but it's a common standard. Maiko also wear sandal-like shoes called okobo that have really thick soles, while geisha opt for a more regular geta or zori sandal. Keep in mind that the numerous performances, varying dance styles, playing musical instruments, mastering the customs, adapting to the kimonos, refining the hair systems, adapting to communication, really becoming good at bar games, and performing for elite special events, this all takes years to master. This isn't some kind of a 4-week training course. It's a way of life, and after a long effort, a Maiko rises through the ranks to eventually become a geisha. And geishas capture your attention instantly. Now let's put it all together. Here's a photo of a Maiko and a full-fledged geisha. Notice the differences in hair, lipstick, ornaments, and kimono. Very different, easy to see. One final note. If you find yourself walking through the streets of Tokyo and Kyoto and you happen to see one of these majestic ladies walking past you, it's totally permissible to snap a quick photo or video from afar. Believe me, in the days of smartphones, they're more than used to it. But never stop them and ask them to take a selfie with you. You see, they know that once they're cornered and they take a single pic with you, 500 other people will demand the same courtesy. And quite frankly, they aren't there for you. They're on their way to an event. They don't get dressed up for hours for people like you and I just to snap a picture. They're on their way to an appointment, an event, or performance. In other words, they are on their way to work. And I'm sure you can imagine excited tourists become touchy, and they want to put their arm around them and poke at that perfect hair and give them a kiss on their white perfect makeup and touch their pristine kimonos, or maybe even grab an ornament from their hair as a souvenir. You get it. You know how excited people get. They forget themselves. This is why the geisha and Maiko move really quickly and might even have a handler with them. Just snap a memory from afar as they walk by and be respectful. Trust me, it's a digital memory that you will never forget.
How's that for a comprehensive video? That's just about everything I know and have researched over the years about the wonderful world of the geisha. Well, listen, as always, I'll be posting more videos to come, but if you have any questions, this is my email address, this is my website for sushi classes, and this is my website for tours to Japan. I am happy to answer any questions you have. I am at your service. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.